I'm Dan.
And I'm Landon.
And we're here to read and discuss the Bible. Today, we are reading chapter 9 of John.
Yep.
John chapter 9. And we're reading the second half of John, verse 22 through 41. And we really do appreciate you watching our videos. So we would more appreciate if you subscribed at the top. So we can know that we're making a difference and that you want to see more of these type of videos.
Yeah.
And we would like you to also thumbs up down at the bottom.
Thumbs up.
And leave a comment
down
below.
Down below.
Even if you're not a subscriber. We'd like to know what you think. Now, in the description, we have some links to the Bible. Well, we're reading today in the New King James because we like that. But you may like a different version of the Bible. We have some links there for a couple different versions, 3 versions. And from there, you can change the version if you want Chinese or Australian.
I think that's the same language, same script.
I know Australian and Chinese are very similar.
No,
and
what we have
but you can change the Bible if you like some version, NIV or whatever you like. It's there, and you can do that. And also you can see our links down at the bottom in the description about our church and some videos that you may want to watch. So let's go ahead and start now. Remember in the first video, and if you haven't seen the first video, there'll be a little link there.
Where?
You missed it. It was right there.
Oh, it was right there?
It's gone now.
Oh.
So if you did miss the first part, go back and take a look at it because it's everything in the first part we'll deal with in the second part. Basically, Jesus healed a man of blindness. He was blind from birth, and he healed the man on the Sabbath day.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pharisees
didn't like it.
And so they brought in even the parents to say they didn't. Well, half of the Pharisees said that how can they said he was basically a sinner, and half the Pharisees said that how can he be a sinner and do such great miracles? So they were divided. This is the first time I think it says that they were divided.
Yeah.
Before they just all hated him.
Yeah.
And they thought he was just bad news.
And like there was maybe one person that liked him.
Nicodemus. Well, there might have been more. It's just the one spoke up for him.
But this time they were divided.
They were divided, and these are the head Jews, the bosses. They had Pharisees.
Sorry, it was an accident.
The head Pharisees and the learned men, and they brought him in, and this is like the third or fourth time he's talked about what happened. And then they brought the parents in. And said, because they didn't believe it was him. They didn't believe that he was blind from birth. They brought the parents in. The parents said, yeah, he's our boy. And he's been blind since birth. But they were afraid of getting excommunicated, which means they're tossed out of the church and there's no sacrifice for them and no way to get to heaven.
No.
So they said, talk to him. He's old enough. He's old enough to be a witness. So that's where we're at in verse 22. His parents said these things because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had already agreed that if anyone confessed that he was Christ, he would be put out of the synagogue. So that's what I said, that they were afraid. Therefore his parents said, he is of age, ask him. So they again called the man who was blind and said to him, give God the glory. We know that this man is a sinner. He answered and said, whether he is a sinner or not, I do not know. I told you in the last one, I said, if it was me and I was blind, I wouldn't care who did it or what they did. Tell me to roll myself in bacon and go fry myself in a griddle, but I'm going to be set free. I'm going to be healed from blindness. I'm going for the skillet. He answered and said, whether he is a sinner or not, I do not know. One thing I know, that though I was blind, now I see.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
I don't know who this man was. I don't know if he's a sinner. I don't know if he's the devil.
Yeah.
But I know I was blind.
And now I see.
Take that. Then they said to him, what did he do? How did he open your eyes? It's just like, what? 7,000 times they've asked this man. What he told him. So at least 3 times, I think, in this.
Fourth time he's going to tell him.
Well, and then also his parents.
Yeah.
Said, that's him, yeah. He answered them, I told you already. Now, I think he's getting agitated. He's like,
Yeah.
I said, what? You're a bunch of
It's the
clowns.
fourth time I have to explain this. Maybe more.
And he says, and you did not listen.
Yeah.
Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to become his disciples? I think he made a little joke.
Yeah.
I think he made a little funny. He says, why you want to hear it again? You want me to be a witness for him?
Do you want to be his disciples?
Then they reviled him and said, you are his disciples, but we are Moses' disciples. So now they're basically saying this is a setup.
Yeah.
They're saying that he's a disciple of Jesus.
And that it was
all
a play.
It was all a game. We know that God spoke to Moses. As for this fellow, we do not know where he is from. Well, now, a couple chapters back, they've
already talked to Jesus.
They've talked to him, and they said, well, wait a minute. We know this guy's mother and father. Isn't this the son of Joseph, the carpenter? Isn't he from Galilee?
Yeah.
Nothing good comes out of Galilee. Now they're saying, as it says, as far as this fellow, we do not know where he is from. Now, unless they're different people. I don't think they're different people. It's in the same place. Yeah. He's in the. It didn't say like in the last chapter that he went somewhere else.
Right.
So
obviously, in the same place
because every time he went somewhere else, it would say Jesus went to the mountains and he went on the sea and he went to wherever he went. Yeah. But he's still in the same place, still teaching. So where the last time they wanted to get him.
These would be the same people.
Yeah. The last time, remember, the Pharisees sent soldiers down, guards,
to get him, and
they didn't get him. And they didn't get him. Said, "Are you also deceived?" So these are the same people who said they don't know him.
Yeah.
I'm confused with these people. It must be, I don't know, multiple personalities. And the man answered and said to them, "Why? This is a marvelous thing that you do not know where he is from. Yet he has opened my eyes."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, wonderful. You don't know who he is.
So?
But he's opened my eyes. Aren't you going to rejoice with me?
Yeah.
Aren't you going to have a party with me? Because I'm going to have a party. Somebody opened my eyes and I couldn't see. And now I can go paint if I want to. Now we know that God does not hear from sinners. But if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him. Since the world began, it has been unheard of that anyone opened the eyes of one who is born blind.
Wow.
It's unheard of.
It's never been done.
It's unheard of. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing. See, now, this is the blind man schooling the Pharisees.
Yeah.
He's like, now, obviously the blind man has been in the synagogue and has heard the preaching. He's been in the church, he's heard the preaching, and the preachers are saying, this man who healed you is a devil. Yeah. And the man said, no, we know what the scripture said. If this man was a devil, he couldn't do these things.
Anything. Yeah.
He couldn't do these things. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the blind man almost standing up and yelling at these guys.
Yeah.
And then he said, they answered and said to him, you were completely born in sin, and you are teaching us. So they're saying, what did the disciples ask? They're saying, who sinned?
The parents or him?
Him or the parents. Now, it said he was blind from birth. What kind of sin could he have done when he was in his mother's womb that caused him to be blind from birth?
Right. So it had to have been the parents.
No, Jesus said at the beginning that it was so that, it says here at the beginning that Jesus said, neither this man nor his parents sinned, in verse 3, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. Revealed in him.
So nobody sinned.
Nobody sinned, but that God's work could be done.
Right.
So, and they said that you were completely born in sins and you're teaching us. So they're yelling back at him.
They're thinking, your parents were sinners and that's why you were blind.
Yeah, you were born into sin.
Yeah.
Now, they were born into sin too.
Yeah.
And then they cast him out.
Man.
That's what I told you.
They just threw him out.
Well, they basically, it's like if you're part of a church and then they said, you can no longer come here. They took him
They
out.
just sent him
I
away.
don't know that maybe they threw him out. I don't know, but it doesn't say they threw him out. They cast him out, which means, let me look here. Yeah, in my notes it says excommunicated him. That means they said, and excommunication was not just that he couldn't come to the synagogue.
But
It wasn't just that he couldn't get the sacrifice done by the priest. It was that none of his family were allowed to talk to him.
Yeah.
None of his relatives. No one was. Basically, he was shunned.
Yeah.
He was not. He was excommunicated. No communication.
Excommunication.
And that's what the parents were afraid of.
Right.
Not only. I mean, they were afraid of being cast out of the any type
Out
of
of
sacrifice.
the sacrifices and stuff.
But then, see now if the
Now-
parents go back and like comfort the man or be with the man, they would excommunicate the parents.
Yeah.
Or if there were friends that were Jewish, which they would have been Jewish, and would have had dealings with the man, basically
couldn't do
it's
anything
almost
with him.
sending the man, leave,
Yeah.
go somewhere else, and never come back, and you're not welcome.
Yeah.
In fact, if you come, we'll ship you out somewhere. Jesus heard that they had cast him out, so the word got around.
Yeah.
And when he found him, so Jesus went looking for him.
Yeah.
When he found him, so Jesus must have had some compassion on this man.
Yeah.
Because he said when Jesus heard, he found him. He went and found him. And he said to him, "Do you believe in the Son of God?" He answered and said, the blind man who was blind, "Who is he, Lord, that I might believe in him?" See, he didn't know that Jesus was Jesus.
Right, because he couldn't see him the first time.
He couldn't see him. And Jesus said, "You have both seen him, and it is he who is talking with you." Then he said, "Lord, I believe," and he worshipped him.
Wow.
Well, obviously, the man was blind he never seen.
Right.
And
now he does
it's
see.
hard to really understand that. You can close your eyes and open them, and you've seen. This man had never seen before.
Right.
But his eyes were then perfect. He just went from not ever seeing
To seeing
That's
perfectly.
different than if you lose your eyesight and it comes back. You've seen, you know what you're missing. You know what was there. You know that the sky is blue when it's blue, and you know what
The
white
grass
looks like.
is
How do you
green.
describe to a person what the color red looks like?
Right.
If he has nothing to go by, that he doesn't know what. Well, you can say, well, it's it's kind of like white. What's white?
Yeah,
What's
white?
What's white? It's kind of
black
a
is,
pink
but-
color. Well, what's pink? You
Right.
can't describe what it is. Now he could have felt water, and he could have felt grass, and he could have ate food, but he could never see. You could not describe to him what anything was,
Yeah.
And Jesus said, "For judgment I have come into this world, that those who do not see may see, and that those who see may be made blind." For judgment. Now, that doesn't mean that he came to judge, but he came because of judgment. For judgment I came. That means he's there
Because
to relieve the guiltiness of the judgment.
Mhm.
And so that those who are blind may see, and those that may see may be made blind. Then some of the Pharisees who were with him heard these words and said to him, "Are we blind also?" Oh, they're coming at him.
Yeah.
Jesus said to them, "If you were blind, you would have no sin. But now you say, 'We see,' therefore your sins remain."
Wow.
They see all these miracles. And that's the end of chapter 9. The Pharisees seen, how many miracles did they see?
So many.
They had, I don't remember how many we've talked about, but
almost
many.
every miracle that's
just
been
look,
in John. they've
obviously, whenever he fed the 5,000, it had to get back to them if some of them weren't even there, maybe.
looked at it. Right.
If some of them may have been even there to spy on him, what's going on.
Yeah.
And they seen, can you imagine being in that group of people where, they've been out all day and he's been preaching, right? And it's getting late and they're hungry.
Yeah.
But they don't care. They'd rather starve than not listen to this man. And maybe there's a Pharisee in the crowd.
Right.
because they're spying on him to see what he's saying. Because if they could have caught him in a lie or telling something that was not in the Word of God, they
Or
would have
something,
got him
yeah.
there, and they would have got him,
They
right?
would have got him.
So
yeah.
I think all the time these Pharisees followed after him.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, it doesn't say many times it said the Pharisees were there, but it doesn't say that they were following him.
Most
But
likely
I
there was
believe that they were
somebody.
trying to figure out how they could get rid of him.
Yeah.
So after a little while, they would have said, well, we need to go follow him to see what he says.
Mhm.
Because later on, they used what he said to accuse him of blasphemy.
Right.
Whenever he said he would tear down the temple, and in 3
Yeah.
days he would raise it up. And basically, he said he was the Son of God. And it was the words that he spoke that they used against him.
Yeah.
They never said, well, this man healed the blind man,
Nope.
so we got to kill him.
Because nobody would kill him
No,
for healing someone.
I mean, he healed the man that was lame by the pool of Bethesda. He fed all them 5,000 people, men, and plus women and children, with the fishes and the loaves. Split them up, and it had 12 baskets.
Yeah.
No, they weren't going to crucify him for that. They
No.
were trying to find anything they could do to crucify him by his words, and really they never found any guilt in him.
Yeah.
Because even at the end, he said that they don't take his life; he lays it down willingly.
Yep.
Because they couldn't take his life; he had to give it away. Well, we hope that you received something today from the Scriptures.
Yeah.
And we would really like your feedback. So put some comments down at the bottom. Let us
Down
know
there.
if you like this series or if you want us to read some other type of book in the Bible, because we're almost through John.
Yeah.
So we need to know what you would like to hear about. So until next time,
Bye.
have a blessed day.